What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Don Illuminati, back with another video. So in this video, I want to introduce to you one of my skills that I have, and that is writing, thinking. What is it? Reading, writing, arithmetic. I'm actually very gifted in those area of things. Okay. Um, so let's get into it. I'm starting a book, right? And it's going to be called The Book of Don Illuminati. I'm going to do an audio book, and hopefully I might be able to do a physical copy too. But I know the audio book is going to be super easy because you just literally just upload it and send it to one of your publishers. I already got a publisher. So how long is this book going to be? I don't know. But I know the first chapter, getting started, I just begin to do certain research, right? And I'm looking at other people's, the way they think about the world, the way they try to build themselves. And I'm like, they got some pretty interesting points there. And then I begin to roll my own thoughts. And I say, I'm getting way too many of these right now. Because I remember back in the day, this is all I used to kind of do, right? So I just started writing them down, these quotes, right? So I begin like this. The first part, chapter 1 is going to be called The Company You Keep. And this is all dealing with mentality, your mental state, and what your mental state carries. It carries your source of energy, your power, your life force, your purpose. Okay? So how do we get you there? We got to get you away from the distractions. It's a rebuilding of the mind, reconstruction. So let's get started, okay? So the thing is, right? You got to stay away from people who question your standards, the things that you stand on and believe. So people who question those things, those people are not doing those things out of love, but they're doing it out of purposely trying to limit you. These are limitations that these people are putting on you. So they're dressing up in wolves in sheep's clothing, acting as if they love you, but they really don't, because they're placing limitations on you. So basically, it'll be the quality of the people that you keep around you versus the quantity of people that you choose to keep in your company. So the one who operates in patience will gain a superpower, because sometimes you don't always need to be around people. Sometimes it takes isolation for you to get yourselves together, to get your thoughts together. So you're going to have to be patient in those periods. And a lot of times you're going to be challenged when you're going to have to sit in the midst of a chaotic situation. That's where you're going to gain your superpower at, when you have patience. This ain't just a regular patience. This is sitting in the midst of a chaotic situation. Or even if you feel like you need to respond back to drama. Sometimes it's just meant to just sit there quietly because you're gaining something. When you sit in patience, when there's chaos erupting, especially that is addressing you, you gain a superpower there, right? So most things that people call an urgent need are not important, okay? Most things. So a lot of people think the importance of, when they're going to build something, that they have to establish being validated as they're building. That'll cause you to distract yourself, right? So building in the absence of confirmation, it allows you to build on your patience as well, but it also allows the growth of not having the need for validation. You understand that? Because the need for validation destroys you internally by causing one to quit or even give up too early. You feel me? So this is why you're going to have to do what I said before. And it says right here, plant your work like one who will not be around for the harvest, right? Because the universe is always going to reward to those who refuse to quit or give up too early. The most indestructible force on this earth is how you choose to develop your mind, by discovering all your weaknesses and the things that you allow to steal your attention. So what you give your attention to, or who, you are allowing them to cooperate with your energy. Your energy is your strongest resource, so be careful who you give your resources to. Being reactive consistently causes you to contribute your source of energy to many things unnecessarily. I'm going to repeat that. Being reactive consistently causes you to contribute your source of energy to many things that are unnecessary. You understand that? So your source of energy also calculates up to wisdom, prosperity, and universal freedom. This ain't if you're not just dishing it out like that. If you're constantly responding to things or letting things get to you, or you constantly got things that's on your mind that's not serving your no benefits, I don't give a damn if it's the bill collector. Cast those thoughts out of your imagination, because pretty much that's what it is. So you agree you in the matrix or you don't. So these things are either real or they're not. When you live for the Most High, you know that He takes care of you. So these things can only be implanted into your imagination for you to cause belief and speak a different way, and then to cause manifestations of other things, right? As I build on this lesson, it's going to get deeper because I still got to fill these in with the things that I'm even elaborating on. But this is just a hardcore rough draft. So it's saying here, right? And we continue. The key is wealth is really in the mind. A healthy mind is a wealthy mind. Truth is freedom, doesn't come from an outside source. So the truth is that freedom, it doesn't come from any outside sources. Freedom is in your mind. You got to think about it. And people notice who have been locked up before. They'll be like, yo, I live in my head. Because if I was to accept to being in here and believing that they have me locked down and locked in, which you understand your environment, you're still in the jail in this environment. They place you between your four walls and you don't think you're locked up, but you are. See what I'm saying? Some people can feel a lot more free than you, and both of y'all are in your own homes. So either or, whether you was either jailed, even if jailed, you still have the willpower to either hurt or heal others just as yourself. Wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and freedom all starts in the reconstruction of the mind. This is why be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. To whom governs their own mentality, in which takes reconstruction of their own process of thinking, will reverse the curse in place. This is why when governments fall, the people lose their abilities to think. Why? Because the government governs your mentality. So without the government, people don't even know how to think on their own. So this is why when you're moving out loud, right, the enemy can calculate your moves. So it's going to be important for you to move in silence, because the enemy's position is to steer or distract you from your source of energy, in which is your source that fuels and serves your purpose in this life. I'm going to repeat that again. The enemy's position is to steer or distract you from your source of energy, in which is the fuel to serve your purpose in his life. This is the importance to moving and building in silence. And this is why you can't let everyone know what you up to, what you're doing, how you moving, so forth and so on. So this just is part of chapter 1. That's just the start of things. To begin this reconstruction of the mind, the Lord gave me ability to see those things. Because if you want to consider yourself rich, well, it's all going to start here. Most rich people, they're rich because the mentality that they have. This is why it's passed down. And they say, they only pass down certain secrets to their own kind. Well, what is those things? A lot of those things is how to train yourself in discipline. Most of these things, they fall around discipline. So you have to be well disciplined when it comes to channeling your energy. Who you allow around you, who you allow to put thoughts into your head, how much you think about others who don't think of you very much at all. Like, they don't think very good of you, right? So it's best to just lay all those things aside, because you are the owner operator in your life, and you choose who lives or what lives rent free in your head. So if you're consistently keeping yourselves around people who are not dictating to your purpose or your standards, you will have that comfortability and freedom to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you're planting seeds, you can grow a plant quickly, or you could suppress the plant by keeping pressure on it the whole time, or keeping the surrounding area. And you could do this experiment if you garden. But if you plant too close to other plants, they will affect each other. And it don't even have anything to do. They could be the same plant. It ain't got to be a rotten plant. Sometimes you just need space for your roots to grow. That takes separation. Always. So when they're talking about isolation and separation, that's the difference what I'm talking about here. This is the type of isolation where you can still be around others, but not allowing them to be connected to your growth. You understand that? Why? Because now they're going to start feeding off of you. And at the end of the day, if you were meant to grow this high, but you got two plants around you and their roots are touching now, that one plant that's planted first that got more nutrients, it's going to start sharing with the other plants around them. This plant was supposed to be yay high, but now they fed its energy to these certain plants, right? These plants might get corrupted. So now what happens when they start breaking down? They're still connected to that one plant. Now this plant in the middle, say that it didn't stunt its growth. But what it's going to do is stunt the production that the plant is going to be able to produce. Why? Because you have, let's call them the energy vampires in the plant world. I'm going to tell you that these people are spiritual parasites. When they constantly say things to make you think about them, this is why a lot of people want to disrespect you and then try to, throw stones and then hide their hands, because they want you to think about that shit. They want you to allow them and their disrespect to live rent free in your head. No effing way, doc. Mind you, certain heads like mine's already filled with a lot of war, destruction. You're going to say, well, that's not a peaceful mind. Yes, it is. Because a reconstructed mind is a peaceful mind, depending on how you're reconstructing it. For men, strong men, stoic men, you got to leave a little bit of room in the mind to operate not just through, but with chaos. This is how you get order out of chaos. See, you're looking at order out of chaos as if it has to be chaos first and then they bring order. No, you're going to get order out of these individuals by being more chaotic than they are. That is the order out of chaos. So you're going to leave space as to being stoic to have order with it, being knowing how to use it and utilize it properly. That all comes with constructing your own mind. The process is the way you think. Now, if the way that you think is unstable, then trying to operate out of chaos might not be good for you because you don't know what the hell you're doing. But if you're a very intellectual person, such as myself, as I told you, a lot of these things are used for projection. Not teaching you how to be an actor, but teaching you how to project until you become. You understand that? This is what reconstruction in the mind is. So you can't just say, I'm going to think about these things. No, you're going to have to exercise and apply these things. Are you those things now? Maybe not. But in the exercise of what will you become? You see what I mean? So don't ever get up here and think that I'm just some type of dumbass nigga. Like I don't know nothing. Remember I told you I'm the dude that graduated in 11th grade. I did 2 years in one. I'm the one that got straight A's in computer network engineering from college. Okay? Anytime it came to intellect, academics, all that, listen, I'm pretty much set because of my mindset, the way I choose to think, strategize, and learn. Not just from people, from experience, from environments, and from actual knowledge, education, proof, and facts. Researchers, this, that, and the third. I take these things as a whole, make it a compilation of my life. And then I go to project those things that I allowed to be built inside of me. Why? Because some things are an importance, especially that order out of chaos part. So when some people think, because, hey, listen, it don't have to be explained right away, but that's why I'm going to put these things in this book. So if you don't already know these type of things, then you should understand why a man has to be so stoic, because a lot of people got dumb questions that don't need to be answered. That's almost like casting my pearls amongst swine. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not that intelligent, you ask a stupid question, I give you an intelligent answer, and now you want an argument. We ain't doing that. So a stoic person is going to turn their back on you when it comes to edifying you with any information, because we know that we're casting our pearls amongst swine here. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, cool. So other than that, I was going to say, I'm going to try to have, because see, that's a few pages that I did there, right? That's just written down for me. That actually don't take me long to do. You feel me? I was cooking in the middle of doing that, and I couldn't just get away from it, because as I'm trying to prepare my food, once I get my brain thinking that way, it doesn't want to stop. It's like infinite elaboration. And I got that. I can fill that book up like it ain't nothing with stuff just like this that you're going to need to understand. And these are going to be steps of reconstructing the mind. That way, once you do a certain thing and you are on a certain wave for at least 7 days, it becomes a habit. So I'm going to say 7 to 10 days. So we're going to get this the 2-week thing. Every time I start these videos, I'm going to try to provide a lesson before a lesson, if I can. It'll come out the book that I'm writing. So you're going to see new material a lot now. Yes, I'm still going to rap and all that, but I have another skill which deals with literature. It definitely does, right? Getting you to understand, see, a lot of people will talk about the language that we speak and how it's used as curses, this, that, and third. None of those things is as important as how you choose to process certain thoughts in your mind. You have to now create a filter. You have to know it. You have to be mindful of it. You have to be very conscious, not self-conscious, conscious, that you literally just placed a filter in your head. And it's to filter out any negative activity, any negative energy, anything negative. Don't give anything negative any of your attention. Turn it off immediately. Boom, just like that, right? All right, bet. Now, a lot of times you could consider different frequencies negativity. Sometimes I get up here and I project, as I said, a certain frequency. Some people might think it's negativity, but it's not. Are you listening to the words that I'm saying? I'm giving it to you with those words, with that frequency, because that frequency is preparing you for chaos. That's what it's doing. And either way you want to put it, you're still going to have to learn under a chaotic situation. So when things get crazy out here, you're just going to give up trying to be edified by the word of God? Is that what you're saying? So no matter what, you're still going to learn through chaos. That's what he wanted. Because he knew it's going to break you all the way down to your knees. Do you understand that? Because y'all so hard-headed that you have to learn out of chaos. You have to be like yelled at. Somebody got to snap their fingers. They got to be spicy and all that. I ain't got to do all that. When God start tearing all this up out here, I'm going to get up here as smooth as possible. Then you're going to learn. I ain't got to be chaotic with you. The Most High already doing what he do. Now I'm going to do what I do. So we kind of going to switch little roles. And I will only project if necessary. You see what I'm saying? So don't think that I'm up here to just, yell and scream and try to project some type of power. We all know that the loudest nigga in the room is the most bitch-ass nigga in the room. Nigga, how many times have you been in jail? All right then. Because I was never the nigga that walk in there with my mouth all open. I am an observer. See what I'm saying? What I'm on here doing is projection. This is as much as people ever going to hear me talk when I'm up here. When I'm in the vicinity of, I don't talk much. I don't even smile much. I don't even want people by me for the most part, to keep it 1,000 with you. So don't ever think that I'm the nigga up here that's with the loud mouth shit and all that. Nah, dog. I know how to project stoic energy. Don't tell me that stoic is passive, because it's not. It's having the abilities to know when to turn on and to turn off certain things that are beneficial for that temporary period of time. But it's always done out of strategy. This is strategic. It's all strategic. And sometimes we got to continue to do it as we do, even when nobody pay attention, because we are still exercising those things. Just because I give you these things out of this book that I'm writing, don't mean that you can read over that and you're going to get it and you're going to become it in one day. You're not. For the first 15 minutes of this video, you might have to run this joint back 4 times just to understand what I'm saying, just so it can compute and you can embed it into your brain first, because you're going to need to learn this. But once you have your spirit open to it, it'll pour into your spirit and it will unconsciously activate you with those things anyway. But this, the word is there for confirmation and a reminder to give you revelation that these things already are programmed in your spirit. And I'm confirming them because you know that it's very logical and you know that this is how things work. But just like I said, if you didn't have a government to govern your mentality, you wouldn't know how to think it up. So let me be somewhat of a government for your mentality. I'm going to help you govern your own mentality through reconstruction of the true ways that's going to give you freedom, wisdom, prosperity, and all that other stuff. Because it's all going to start place in the renewing of the mind. Till next time, it's your boy Don Illuminati. Peace. One love.